For drive 8 minutes. I mean, Kyler Murray and their offense had the ball 3 plays in the first quarter, right? And I know that's also your defense stepping up making plays, but 3 plays in the first quarter. And then they get the ball back in the second quarter, 3 plays and out, right? And so Kyler Murray, they ever had 6 plays through, I think it was 17 minutes of gameplay. And that was just, I think for the Lions, that was really what they had to do. They had to establish that dominance at the line of scrimmage. They had to establish that we're not going to just give you the ball. We're not going to go 3 and out and give it back to you. We got to convert these third downs. We've got to sustain these drives to keep Kyler Murray and their offense on the sideline. And that was just, in my mind, it was just the perfect start. And once they got that momentum going and the juice going and you get up 10-0, I think that's really when the sideline and everybody else starts to believe, hey, we might be able to do this, right? Let's just keep it going now. And they were able to sustain it. And I think that was, like we talked about earlier, sustaining that play through the whole game, through 4 quarters, was obviously something that is the biggest positive out of the game and something that we just haven't seen this year.
And we talked about it last week, and I know they didn't win the toss, but they did get the ball to start the game.
Yeah.
How important was that to be able to go out there and put a 15-play drive together, 8 minutes and 50 seconds? I mean, if they win the toss, you would think for the final 3 games that they're going to take the ball.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to yesterday if they would have won. So that was a situation that we talked about, I think, I don't know if it was on the show Monday or in the podcast, but we were big proponents of taking the ball, right? Because they seem to defer all the time. And you look at the last 4 games, and they've gotten the ball to start the second half, and every single drive has been 3 and out. And then in Denver, they get the ball, and you fumble, and it's like, guys, stop deferring. Just take the ball. Try to punch teams in the mouth. And that was, I'm always a big proponent of that when you are a big underdog, right? When you're a 12-point underdog, 13-point underdog, take the ball. Go try to score. Put your offense on the field. Try to go up 3-0. Try to go up 7-0. Try to at least establish some momentum and throw the first punch, so to say. And that was something that happened yesterday. And then they go, when I talked about earlier, the complementary football, right? Special teams, defense, offense. After you go score the 3 points, you go kick the onside kick, right? You give them the ball at the 50-yard line. Defense steps right up 3 and out, right? That's good complementary football. When something happens, when we turn the ball over, hey, guys, go get it back, right? They did that. And that's something that's the reason why they were able to sustain that, because when the offense failed, defense picked them up. Special teams failed, defense picked them up. Defense failed, offense goes right back down and scores. That's how you win football games in the NFL.
And you have a script to start the game. And there's no better way to control at least somewhat of where you're going to get the ball. And, because if you fair catch it, if it goes in the end zone, you're going to get the ball at the 20, 25, whatever it is. And you get a chance to go the length of the field. And it's not going to be we're backed up on the 3-yard line because the other team put together a drive, they didn't get it, and then they punted it down and they pin you back. If you're not a good offensive team, you want to know where you're going to get the ball, and then you can go through that script. We see teams all the time, because they are scripted plays and guys have gone through over and over and over these 10 or 15 plays that they put together. That's generally, for bad football teams, your best drive.
TJ, big picture, #1 pick. They lose it by winning that game. What's your response to people who are upset about this win or any wins down the stretch? As Goff said in the post-game scrum, why not go win the next 3? The reason not to win the next 3 is you're not going to get Hutchinson or Thibodeau. Like, I'm okay with yesterday's win because there's not a great quarterback and you're still getting one of the 2.
Right.
But if you will win a couple of these games, I think this winning culture thing, that's when people start to exaggerate it a little bit. They're still a 5-win team if they win out. Like, I don't know where you're at when it comes to the debate on draft pick versus building something, or how much can even be built at this point in the season. But I'll open it up to the people as well. 248-539-9797. What's going through your head as the Lions get their most impressive win of the season, and your quarterback says, why not go win the next 3?
I don't think players care. Players don't care. I'm not going to say I don't think. I know players don't care.
But you guys don't play anymore.
They don't care about
But
draft position.
you don't play anymore.
Yeah, but I still can't take that out of when I watch a game and I sit down. I know the consequences, right? If they win, all of a sudden you go from number 1 overall to number 2. If you win again, you might go to number 4.
4 or 5.
And I don't care. I don't care. I would much rather have the win. And it doesn't matter when it comes, how it comes. If the playoffs aren't on the line like they weren't for the first time this year, they get a win against Arizona. Now, what happens moving forward? I don't care. I just want them to, if they can win a game, win the damn game.
Yeah, I'm probably 50-50. Yeah, so just the fan in me that, you know, they're dropping at 2. Okay, let's say they stay at 2. You're still looking at the argument of Thibodeau and Hutchinson, right? It sounds like they're kind of just 1A, 1B, whichever way you want to put them. So if you're picking at 2, maybe that forces you now to take Hutchinson, which a lot of fans would love. But if you're right, if you drop to 4 or 5, it's like, well, who's there, right? Is it a corner? Is it a wide receiver? Is it a maybe a quarterback, right? Maybe a quarterback. I don't know. Maybe one of the quarterbacks. So you start to really question who's going to be there for you. And I get it though, but no, I think look, yesterday watching them win, that was way more satisfactory than if they would have played a close game and still had held on to the number 1 draft. You know, I wanted them to win that game. I wanted them, the players, to experience what big-time football feels like and get that taste of belief that we can do it. You know, we were missing, probably 10 guys that are key contributors on this football team, and you still go out and you beat one of the best teams in football. I think
that's why I question, what are you building? If you win these games with guys who are not going to be on the roster in 6 months or 12 months, what are you actually building culture? I think that's overblown.
It could be, yeah.
And you guys have been in that locker room, so make fun of me. That's why you're both here. I think it's a little overblown to say that they're going to establish a culture by beating Atlanta and Seattle and potentially a Green Bay team that would be checked out or clinched. I think it's far more important for this team to upgrade the talent.
It is.
And the best way to upgrade the talent is through the draft. And the best way to get the guy you want is to pick before everybody else.
I agree with you, but I also think that winning changes expectations. Which
I just don't think they can win enough this year to do that.
No, and maybe I disagree with you, because when you beat a team, a 10-win team, Arizona, who was the number 1 seed, 6 days ago, that changes expectations. I think when you bring guys into the building and the young players that you bring in, that you retain in the draft picks, you're not bringing them into a 1-win football team saying, okay, we're still trying to build this thing. No, you're saying, we're winning these games, guys. This is what we expect to do, okay? All the other BS, the other 10 losses, whatever, the close losses, losing last-second field goals, that's not who we are. This is who we are. You have something to at least hang your hat on now, to say, to give yourself a reason to change expectations. And I think that's huge when you talk about culture, and when you talk about bringing guys in that, look, I mean, not a lot of players come into the Lions and think, okay, we're going to be a championship team, right? But when you win these type of games, you have something to hang your hat on as a new coach that says, why can't we?
TJ Lang hanging out with us. It's 97.1.
From Brenda Lee to John Lennon and more. Your favorite pop icons from the past bring your holiday favorites. Search Pop Classic Christmas on the Odyssey app to listen now. Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Moxie Sports Desk. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
Brought to you by National Benefit Plans. The COVID stranglehold on sports continues. Lions quarterback Jared Goff placed in the NFL reserve list. That's 13 cases in the last 15 days for Detroit. They do expect DeAndre Swift back in practice this week, but did sign Craig Reynolds to the 53-man roster after his impressive run in his absence. A double dose of Monday Night Football, giving a couple of tough games to watch, including a last-second field goal win by the Raiders over the Browns and their third-string quarterback, 16-14. Minnesota took advantage of Big Bear's mistakes, beating Chicago 17-9. In college, Myrtle Beach Bowl victory for Tulsa over Old Dominion, 30-17, and a record performance for the Michigan State women as Nia Clouden putting up 50 against Florida Gulf Coast in double overtime.
I think it says a lot about my game. I feel like I'm a 3-level scorer. I can make 3. I have the mid-range. I can get to the basket. I just feel like this shows that I'm an all-around threat with offensive end and just really do whatever the coach needs me to do. I'm trying to do whatever I can to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, breaking the school record by 8. The Spartans also winning the game 85-84. And the NHL shutting down all teams for the holiday break early. They'll play a pair of games tonight and then shut down facilities until practice resumes the day after Christmas. The Wings already had their games this week postponed due to their own outbreak. 49 games have been affected so far this season in the NHL. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar from West 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning. Jim Costa in for Stoney this week. The gang's all here, minus Gov. Gov also getting some much-needed time off. John Jansen.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Cookies?
Good. We're going to get a Christmas shopping update from you in a second. Heather, good morning.
Good morning, Cookies. I don't think I've ever called you that, but I will. I don't have to. It feels awkward.
It's awkward at first, but if you just let it marinate for a little bit, I think it's catchy.
Greg Hargrave sitting there behind the glass. What's up? Good morning.
Good day. So by the gang's all here, we mean that the gang's not over.
No. Correct. Thank
It's
you.
okay. But you know, here we are, and that's good.
Yeah, this is the current game.
Exactly.
The game before.
Christmas week. Here
Yes.
we go. John, yesterday you said you're 50% done with the Christmas shopping. You are aware that Christmas is this week, Saturday.
I am. And yesterday was a big day for the Jansen Santa Claus trip to the mall. And it was an even bigger day for my wife and I because Grandma texts during the show. She's a big listener. She was listening and she said, if you need to go out and do some Christmas shopping, Dad and I would love to come over and sit with Teddy for a little bit, hang out with our new grandbaby, and then you guys go out. So Lisa and I took off. We went to the mall, but before we did, we went and did something that couples love to do, and that is go to dinner, especially couples with kids, go to dinner or lunch without kids. It is the first time we have been kidless, or we've been out to dinner where I haven't had to move the table for a pregnant wife to get in 5 months. And so it was a fabulous experience. And we went to a little Mexican restaurant near home. I wanted so bad to get a margarita.